Hello and welcome to Teatime and Tarot. This is a daily general tarot reading, so it's not for any specific person or any specific question. It's just a shuffle of the cards to see what to possibly consider today. If it works for you, if it connects for you, wonderful, take it with you. If it doesn't, leave it. It's entirely your prerogative and how it relates to you. So we're going to go ahead and begin here. Alright, so the first card on the table is the Ace of Pentacles. Now the Ace of Pentacles showed up in this position on Friday, the last one that I posted. I've had a trying few days, so apologies for not posting Monday and Tuesday. Aries season is always a bit, I always forget that it's a little bit difficult for me, so I've definitely been feeling that, but working through it and carrying on. So if you feel like you've missed an opportunity that was presented to you or available to you previous to the past few days, you feel like you've missed out on it, because we had the double Ace of Coins in the first position last week, you haven't missed it. It is still available for you. That new beginning, that new possibility, the new job, the new idea, the new project, the new connection, the new relationship, the new activity that you started intending it to become a routine, but maybe you've fallen away from that and you sort of let it go in response to something that's happened, and you drop the ball and you feel like you messed up again, and what were you even doing bothering trying it in the first place? You knew you wouldn't be able to follow through on it. All that kind of negative self-talk. If you feel like you've missed an opportunity like that, it's still available to you. Okay, so don't be discouraged, just redirect. So yeah, you may feel like you've dropped the ball, or you missed the chance, or you missed, the opportunity, but it's still available for you to engage with if you choose to do so. All right, keep that in mind. You haven't missed anything. You may not have performed or responded in a way that you feel confident about, but you still have the chance to reevaluate and re-engage to bring this coin forward with you, to pick it up and begin. So you haven't missed a chance on anything. You haven't lost out. It's still possible. And then in the center, we have the Devil. Okay, so that is our temptations, our behaviors, the way that we keep ourselves tied back or tied down, the things we keep ourselves attached to, addictive behaviors, addictive habits, toxic relationships, toxic behaviors, toxic thought, all of those things that we use to sort of, I suppose, punish ourselves a little bit or restrict ourselves from moving forward in the direction of our higher aspirations. That's the Devil here. All right, so evaluate those things, because those feelings are what's keeping you, if you feel like you can't engage with this opportunity, those feelings are what's preventing you from picking up this coin. So evaluate those things calmly, realistically, objectively, so that you can address them and start to make decisions about how you want to shift away from the things that you do to hold yourself back, the things that you keep yourself tied to. The Devil is also the card of Capricorn, so Capricorn may be influential to you as well. So Capricorn is also about directness. It's about ambition. It's a very sort of magnetized earth energy. So it's about, what can I do to make this happen? And structure and climbing the ladder and developing things in progression to ground them and to grow them into up to a point of success. So with the Devil, directly assess those things and look at those things that make you feel like you're held back or held down, what you can do to release yourself from those things, because it is releasing yourself from them, allowing yourself to move away from them. And then also applying that direct objective assessment into how you can develop this, how you can integrate this Ace of Pentacles that you want to engage with. Okay. Oh, and then we have the Ace of Wands too. Okay. So new idea, new thought, new ambition, new behavior after assessing the prohibitive behaviors in the Devil and how you limit yourself. The Ace of Wands is like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm engaged. I'm igniting this progression. I'm not going to remain defeated, or remain in a space where I feel like I can't succeed at what it is my ambitions are. I'm going to find the way with Capricorn to be able to do it. And it may not have worked out so far the way that I wanted it to, but back to the drawing board. I'm beginning again, seeing what have to work with right now, seeing where I can take it next. Okay, so it's another point of possibility and beginning in the coins, and possibility and potential for material manifestation. And then it's a point in intention and behavior and passion and motivation beginning here. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Eight of Swords. Okay, so trapped in your own head, trapped in your own thoughts, imprisoned by yourself, and a little bit blind to the situation. So when the Eight of Swords shows up, it requires strength and self-possession and consideration and willingness to remove that blindfold so that you can look at these swords and address them so that you can start releasing them or accolading them to where they want to be, or responding to them so that they can be resolved. All of those thoughts that keep you trapped and blind in your own head, in your own awareness of yourself. All right, at the top of the deck, we have 3 aces on the table. All right, Ace of Swords. So this is clarity of thought. Allowing yourself to address all of this and look at it. It's going to empower you to pick up that sword and start swinging it and dealing and cutting out the crap and cutting through the BS and moving forward in a decisive manner in order to engage with these other pentacles. That's very good. So anyone who's felt defeated by something, especially if it's something that they've been working on or trying to come into connection with, trying to come into reciprocity with, if something happened to where it seemed to all fall apart and sort of just dissolve in front of you, the Ace of Coins, the Ace of Wands, and the Ace of Swords on the table is saying, no, you can pick up and begin again. Start again. Maybe the way that you were working on it didn't work, but that doesn't mean it's never going to work. Reevaluate how you've been limited and reevaluate directly with what you can do to reaffirm and reestablish activity and how to go from here. Okay, knowing what you know now, how do you get to the next stage? Pick it all up again. Reevaluate, release yourself from the fear, because this is fear, anxiety, depression, despondency, disconnection. All of that is in the Eight of Swords. So addressing that Eight of Swords and the devil, the limitations, is going to free you up to reapply all of your aces. All right, and then in the middle of the deck, the Chariot. Okay, that's the card of Cancer. Cancer may be influential to you here. And Capricorn and Cancer, the way these fall, are directly opposed to each other in the zodiac wheel. So they're sort of the antithesis of each other. But again, combining the available attributes of both of these signs, tricky thing to do. Are both of those influences? It's a very tricky thing to do, but it is possible to do it, and then that allows for further coalescence and synchronicity with a scope of vision that is expanded, a scope of awareness that is expanded. Okay, so the Chariot is about taking the position of command in the center of chaos and redirecting all of those opposing forces in the direction that you would like to go, and allowing momentum that's built up behind you to propel you forward. Okay, and with the Sword of Capricorn energy, that is very auspicious. All right, so that point of activity and that call to action and that centeredness in your will and intention in Cancer, combined with the ambition and the direction and directive of Capricorn, that's like a superpower right there, being able to work with those two energies in tandem with each other as well. Okay, we're going to clarify with the Ace of Pentacles, Ten of Swords. Okay, so yeah, whoever's connecting with this was going through something in their head. They went into tailspin, at least in the mental body, that sort of disengaged or released them, or disconnected them from the potential that was available to them, that is still available to them. But all of that negative chatter, that negative thought, that negative perspective, you're coming to the end of that particular nightmare of thought. all right, and it's over, and you're ready to reassess things and be done with it. It's gotten to the completed finishing point of that spiral. We had the 9 of Swords on the table in the last reading, I believe. So whoever's connecting with this went through that dark night of the soul with all of those, you know, legitimate concerns and fears and worries that were hijacked into the imagination and drawn down to be, you know, trapped in your own mind and maybe feel a little bit frozen. I definitely had moments like that over the weekend. But it's time to begin again. The swords are done. That cycle is complete. And now it's time to address what happened with the devil and how you responded, so that you can see, okay, how did I respond in a way that was supportive, and how did I respond in a way that was destructive? Evaluate those things directly and objectively without judgment, you know, without punishment, without, you know, any of that. Just looking at it objectively, like, okay, how did it exactly go down? And then evaluating, like, all right, well, that's what happened. So what can we do in the future in order to respond in a way that is more supportive, you know, and more generous and more susceptible to allow for growth from moments like that? Because those moments are going to come up throughout a lifetime. That's just part of life. They happen. But being aware and prepared and generous with yourself and how you can respond to those moments, to be able to acknowledge them and then also to allow for the recovery from them, is going to make a difference. And clarifying that, we have the Page of Coins. Okay, so picking up that coin, deciding to move forward, being curious, asking new questions, making new plans, reevaluating plans, looking into how you were going about things before they seem to fall apart, and, you know, draw you into this 8 of Swords so that you can re-engage with confidence that new information is going to make a difference, and also the influence of the Devil and Cancer working together in order to reinvigorate and reinforce how you're going to move forward from this point into the future, reconciling how things went from the past up until this point, what happened in the sort of downfall, if you want to call it the downfall, with the 9 of Swords last week and the 8 of Swords today with the Devil, and then beginning again, getting back on the road, getting back on the horse, moving forward again with sort of a revelation and the awareness of that evaluation is going to provide. All right, and clarifying the Ace of Wands, we have the Star. Okay, so that's an Aquarius. That may be influential to you. It's also hope, destiny, your higher aspirations, and what's working behind the scenes in your favor to come into connection with you to support moving forward. So the Star is shining on the Ace of Wands, your actions, what you are going to do, how you're going to show up, how you're going to re-engage, knowing what you know now after evaluating things with the Devil and the 8 of Swords and Cancer. All right, and then we had an extra tarot stone pop out, and that is, okay, Judgment. That makes sense. Okay, that makes sense. So whoever's connecting with this, who's recently gone through sort of a fall, you know, in the progression of the things that they're working on or the reality that they were working with, and feels defeated or feels disempowered from the results or the engagement that brought you to the place of the 8 of Swords and had you go through that dark night of the Swords to end up at the 10 of Swords. So this is calling you to come forward again, sort of being reborn, calling you to re-engage, knowing what you know now that you didn't know then, and moving forward brand new again. Forgiving the past, reconciling the past, learning what you need to know from the past, taking those lessons with you, and moving forward brand new again. Okay, so that is a very hopeful and supportive message. I very much am liking this. And then with the Universe Has My Back, we have, I create mindful moments throughout the day, reminding myself that I am love and miracles are natural. Okay, so when you're feeling a little bit doubtful, a little bit worried, when you have a little faltering, a little wavering moving forward, especially having, if you went through the Nine of Swords over the past few days, or you feel like you've had a fall from grace, or you feel like you've been sort of snapped out of an illusion because your insecurity or inadequacy or belief and faith in yourself and what was possible faltered, take a moment and breathe and remind yourself that you are here, you are important, your focus and your drive and your intention belongs to you, and allow for engagement with the miracles, with the possibility, with the synchronicity and serendipity. Okay, so if you're sort of shuddered to really believing that what you want is available to you, so much so that you're not noticing the opportunities that show up for you to accept, sort of take off the blinkers a little bit. Look with fresh eyes. That's what judgment here is asking you to do. And all of these aces on the table, after this reevaluation and this release from the Eight of Swords and engagement with the Chariot, reevaluate things with fresh eyes, like you've not seen them before, like you don't know how the story's going to end. You know, be open to the development of a new story, of a new way to engage, of a new way to operate, of a new way to grow. Yeah, I like that very much. Okay, that's all I have for you guys today. I hope that was helpful or interesting or curious, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.